Mangulise ma Africa amahle, nyathemba nphilile nonke. Now, like I predicted 2 months ago, I said the fight against legal and illegal African immigrants in South Africa is going to intensify. We saw the police carrying out an operation in Gauteng, in Bloemfontein, in Kimberley, and now the same operation is continuing in KwaZulu-Natal, in the CBD of Durban, where police are going from building to building, checking for illegal firearms, checking for people if they've got the necessary documentations to be in South Africa. Now, to a certain degree, I am very happy when the police are the ones carrying out this operation, because the police are operating within the borders of the laws of South Africa. So they will not take a tire and paraffin and unalive a fellow African brother. So I'm kind of happy, even though as a Pan-Africanist, I know that this will only happen to my fellow African brothers. That's okay. So we have to see, where is this thing going to go to? It's sparking conversation each and every week on how Africans are looking at South Africa. But South Africans are saying, listen, we're fixing our country. Go back to your country and face your problems and fix your own problems that side while we are fixing our country here. Because from now on going forward, we are putting South Africans first. Let's talk about that and much more.
Welcome to King Said So. Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm your host, Kagiso Tlongwane Zinjiva Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, we're going to KwaZulu-Natal, where a serious operation clean the CBD was carried out by the police men and women in uniform in KwaZulu-Natal. Wow! We saw them going from building to building. We saw people trying to jump from their building. Some risky stuff, some scary stuff that happened in KwaZulu-Natal. But all necessary so because South Africans are saying, listen, we want our country back. We need to reclaim the dignity of our country. Our country is a mess because of these illegal immigrants that are here undocumented. So South Africans are tired of this thing. So, Bafet, I'm not gonna say I'm tired of fighting South Africans, because I'm not fighting South Africans. I understand the stresses and the challenges that South Africans face when faced with illegal immigrants, because nobody wants to listen to us as Pan-Africanists when we say we have to have an integrated advanced border system, when we say we have to have an integrated police system, that people's fingerprints and ID numbers must ring in every home affairs of every country. Nobody must be able to escape after committing a crime in South Africa and run back to Zimbabwe. Nobody must commit a crime in Zimbabwe and run to South Africa. All of those things can be sorted out if we can just integrate our systems as African countries. Not necessary to say open the borders, but just integrate the flow of information from one country to another. But before I go into that, let's listen to what is it the police commissioner that what did he say? Was this operation as successful in KwaZulu-Natal, in the CBD? What is it that they found there?
Can you talk to me about what we've seen up until this point? I was told it was about 120 undocumented foreign nationals and some ammunition found.
No, it's quite a lot of them. You are right with the number, over 100 people and that we found here undocumented. But it's different buildings. It's not one building. It's not exactly where we're standing. There's a couple of buildings that we've been busy with in town. There's been almost over 4 million rand worth of fake US dollar notes that have been found as well. And together with drugs, I think there's some dealings that are taking place here. So a lot of other illicit goods that we found in this place, which will also include the buildings that are illegally occupied, illegal connection of electricity and water.
Yeah.
And as you can see, some of the buildings that are standing next to it, the municipality bills that are not being paid, which are owed to the city, and amongst the problems that you are having in this area. So it's basically become the den of criminals in these buildings. That's why we're trying by all means to, from time to time, we raid these buildings.
And I will be engaging with the other officials as well on this other point, but I want to get you, to pick your brain on this. I mean, it almost seems like it's an open secret. When we talk about Durban and we talk about this particular area, we talk about drugs, it's everyone knows. So I think the question to be asked is, if everyone knows, how does the problem still persist?
Yeah, well, the problem is going to persist, simply because, to start with, we've got a biggest harbor. In this harbor, I'm sure we have seen in the past, quite a number of drugs that we found from the containers. We are not searching all the containers. We wish we can search every single container that comes in. So there might be one or two of them that are finding its way into the city. Yeah. Hence, we have this quite number of drugs that have been found when we're busy with operations. And you see the behavior of the youth also out there as they consume a lot of these drugs. So that's part of the problem that we're having. I mean, the coastline in this province is quite long, and there's a lot of ships as we talk. There's at least no more than 10 that are on anchor outside there. Anything can happen in those ships there. So our prevention strategy is to try and protect whatever comes through the coast, come into our province, to try and do a lot of policing in that area. There's challenges, but if we can win that side, we believe that we can reduce quite a number of the drugs that we find in our city.
Now, with this operation that happened yesterday, over 100, they're saying the number is over 120 illegal immigrants were found that were not documented. If you know how big Durban is and you know how big the CBD is, 100 is not a true reflection of how many more there are there. You understand what I'm saying? But 100 is what they got. What are they going to do? Are they going to deport them back to Mozambique? Are they going to deport them back to Lesotho? Zimbabwe? You know, it's costing South African taxpayers money for all of these operations to take place. And another sad thing is that that illegal connection of electricity, we know, me and you know how much we are struggling to buy electricity. The units are crazy expensive, and some people are operating in the grid of Eskom for free. I have to be honest, some of them are helped by South African citizens in connecting illegally there. Some of them know electricity very well. Some of them get illegal documents from Home Affairs from South African citizens. Some of them get released by corrupt police. From South African police citizens. You know how this story goes, guys. Money can get you almost anywhere you want to go in South Africa. That is the honest truth. So, like I said, when this operation is carried out by the police, my heart is at ease as a Pan-Africanist, because the last thing as a Pan-Africanist I want to see is an African brother who is struggling somewhere in his country, coming here and not committing crime, selling veggies, you know, in construction, working at the farms and doing whatever, trying to survive just to send that little bit money back home, and then the community catches them because another fellow African brother committed crime, and because this one is also from Mozambique or from Namibia, from whatever, and they get unalive because of another stupid criminal from his country committed a crime here in South Africa. Because South Africans, they don't care. If one Zimbabwean commit a crime, all Zimbabweans are criminals. That's how the mentality of South Africans are. They paint people with the same brush. And that is the same brush that the colonizers painted us in during apartheid. All black people not allowed to vote. Same brush. All black people are criminals. Same brush. They never differentiated between us, because they see us as one. So, like I said, when the police are doing this operation, I'm happy. The question is then, because we know, like if you come to Kimberley and say, King, take me to a place where Nigerians and people that are not from South Africa are staying, it's easy to point out these places. Since I've been to Kimberley since the early, since 2007, I mean, I know where people stay. You go to, if you take me to Pretoria, I grew up in Pretoria, I can go and show you, no, this flat, you can find these people in that flat. I grew up in Sunnyside, you know, so it's easy to point out. The police, are they doing this really because it is an instruction or it is a call to for the ANC to look like they are doing a good job, the government of national confusion, because they know where these people stay. They know this illegal, especially in Joburg. It's easy to identify a flat that has been hijacked. They are even building on top of those flats. It's crazy. They know. Last week I talked about, was it the week before? I said, if you come in Kimberley and you tell someone, where do people sell drugs here? At the taxi rank. It's easy to go and point to say, listen, this is the guy, that guy there, that with the white t-shirt, that guy, he's the one that's selling drugs. And as you're standing there, you will see people going in there, buying, coming out. The police know these places, but the police are as equally as corrupt as those foreigners. Because those foreigners, they can get there. Sometimes they come, the police van come, arrest them. And it's a big, 20 vans and everything. Everyone is searching at the taxi rank. And this vuga, vaga, vugu, vugu. The next thing, people are arrested. They are in court. Tomorrow, next week, yes, the same people. The same people are here. You understand? So for me, it's like you closing you arresting these people from these buildings. But then what is your succession plan? What is the plan? What is the plan after? What are you going to do with that building so that people don't get in? Are you going to demolish that building? Are you going to renovate it and put South African citizens in there? What are you going to do? Because just arresting and then, because those people, they are not one case in court. It's not like everybody we arrest them, it's one case. Some of them, the documents are there, they are pending, waiting for approval in Home Affairs. Some of them, they don't have documents. Some of them have committed crimes. Some of them, you can find there's so many in those 100 gentlemen that was arrested there, because I only saw gentlemen, maybe a few women there. You can find there's 80 different cases. Or 50 different cases, and each one of them, they want to be represented differently. You can't represent them as a group. It's not these Libyan guys, there's 95 Libyans that were found. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. There's a clip also that is making rounds. I'm not sure, because of social media in South Africa, you can't trust it. You can't trust it. There's some Mozambican, according to the tone that I'm hearing, Mozambican, Zimbabwean people that are speaking, to say they are not afraid of South Africans. They respect what is happening. All they are asking is to pack their things so that they can go. Listen to these guys.
Never respect. Ngoba if ukuthi sifuna ukubisela nathi singakhona ukubisela asi ukuthi siyabasaba mara siyaba respect kodwa into abayenzayo sokusenza sigcine sikhathala ukuthi ayikho emthethweni ngoba if kusemthethweni kufanele kusayine iphepha le court isayine sikiwe isikhathi sokuthi kuyelani ngakini sina 1 month singasebenzi banyizwa ntini sibekezela mara ikinga today asizwange zoshaya umuntu la ne sifikile la sabambela yeni sathi sithi pakana amatafula sipakisana amatafula baphuma basofika bashaya umfana loya sabona ukuthi okade labantu kathi sebayalwa mpela yabusuka phela kusho ukuthi labantu laba sihlula no abasikhule sibanikile isikhathi sokuthi sibahlonipha manje ukuhlonipha sifinish lokuseleyo ne masingazwani ukuthi sipakisana sonke la.
Yeah, those people are saying, listen, if we wanted to fight, we can fight. And that's not something you tell South Africans. South Africans in trouble was tactical. You don't in your respectful tone saying, no, we respect South Africans, but we are not afraid of them. If we wanted to fight, we can fight, but we respect them. You don't speak to South Africans like that. South Africans heads the Ziyashisa and Jepela. You don't threaten South Africans. You don't disrespect South Africans. Not in South Africa anyway. South Africans don't take shit. Not in South Africa, not anywhere. South Africans are not humble people. They don't test South Africans like, don't speak like that to South Africans, my fellow African brothers. No, like just be humble, because you are in a foreign country. You are not in a foreign land. you know. But unfortunately, because of the skin color that you have, you will be treated differently from a Chinese that we are not sure if their papers are okay, the Jewish who are now the Israelites who are now getting passports to come to South Africa, and the Western Cape is welcoming them there. I hope you guys know about this story. The Western Cape is taking these Israelites to come and stay in the Western Cape, and all of those people will never be questioned because of the tone of their skin color. But you as African brothers, those who are watching from overseas, you're from Africa, and you're asking yourself what is happening in South Africa. South Africa, just when South Africans come, when they come as a community, being humble is not going to help you. But when they engage you, when South Africans engage you, like the way Operation Dudula would engage, the way other people will engage them respectfully, so, and don't have that arrogance in your answer, because that's going to save your life in South Africa. I promise you, I'm giving you information for free. It's not something that I condone, but unfortunately, that is how our country is. You know, when the emotions are high, and that is not that does not only apply to South Africa, it applies to all the countries. We saw what happened in the UK and in the US, everywhere. When emotions are high, humans can't control themselves, and it's like if one throws a stone, one stupid person throws a stone, the whole community is going to follow. So, in conclusion, I'm saying I'm happy when the police are the ones who are implementing this type of things. It brings joy that the police are doing their job. You understand? I'm not happy with the overall reason, because, you know, we as Pan-Africanists view Africa as one Africa, one land, one Africa, one language, all of those things, that dream that we have for Africa. But unfortunately, it's not the lived reality that we have today. So we have to humble ourselves also as Pan-Africanists to understand where in the Pan-Africanist road are we? How far are we from achieving those type of things? And what are the serious things that needs to be done to achieve those things? That's why we need to educate our children differently, like in Paseta, the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. Teach our children how to handle inter-economical relations with other countries. Teach our children how to handle technology that solves diseases, that identifies illnesses before they can become worse or deadly, and all of those things. Children that understand agriculture, so that we teach Pan-Africanism in South Africa, Pan-Africanism in Zimbabwe, Pan-African, so people can do what you guys want, which is solve their own problems in their country. But it begins with the education system. Once we start with the education system, I believe it's a start that will propel the next generation to be much better than us. Because as you go to our homes, you find at the back of the home, there's a lot of space, but we don't have a home garden. A small home garden, and seeds are being sold at Checkers, Pick and Pay, and all of that, but we don't take the necessary steps to be self-sufficient when it comes to food in our houses. And you know how these foods are generically modified. These foods that we are eating, even the fruits and the veggies that we are eating. So Paseta is one of those dreams to say, let's teach the next generation. And let's show them that we as Africans, we can build our own schools. We as Africans, we can build our own private hospitals. We can build that will assist the poorest of the poorest. And all of those things can be done through the generation that is going to come out of Paseta. So I'd like to thank everyone that has made their contributions to Paseta. You guys see the details there. It's our Capitec business account. It's a business account. If you're struggling, if you're struggling to find the business account, first insert the branch code. First insert the branch code, and then insert the account number. Your things are going to flow, and you'll be able to donate that 50 rand so that we can build our school, guys. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take a lot of effort effort. It's going to take honesty and transparency to build a school of this nature. But it is possible if we as Africans can unite through our big numbers and donate to Paseta. So thank you to everyone who has donated to Paseta. We appreciate the smallest donation. I saw someone send a 35 rand, someone send a 20 rand. I'm like, all right, I'm asking for a 50 rand minimum, but if you can send whatever you can send, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. Thank you so much, guys. And I'm busy with formulating Paseta Legal Minds. Paseta Legal Minds is a group of attorneys, a group of advocates, a group of lawyers who are going to say, King, we are going to partner with Paseta so that we can fight cases where we see that black people are being abused in South Africa, especially when black people are abused by our white counterparts in South Africa. Farm murders, racist attacks in shopping malls, racist incidents in our workplaces, racist incidents in our schools and everything. Sometimes our black people don't pursue these things because they've got lack of information, and also they don't have the financial capacity to challenge some of these rich white people in court. So if you are one of those people that is in the law field, in the law sector, you are there, you want to join this team of the Paseta Legal Minds, please make sure to send me a WhatsApp on this number. Say, King, I'm a lawyer. Even if I'm a lawyer student or whatever, your advice could help us in everything that we are trying to do and achieve in the Paseta Legal Minds. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. After you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.